You know, I've been thinking about rewatching the short. The one I claimed to say was the worst short. Well, guess what? I went and I rewatched the short. I rewatched the short along with Minions and Monsters, and is Claude definitely the worst Minion along with Mel? He's actually... How do I say this? I don't think he's the worst Minion. I must have been looking at him the wrong way. Because when I rewatched the short, I saw that Jeff actually stood idly by and watched his friend soak in all the glory. Now, granted, he was basically absorbed in the glory because the art critic really liked his work. But he kept doing the same thing over and over again, and then it's understandable that it got stale and people wanted something new. And when he tried to do something, it went off with a bang, but he basically failed, thus having a dog take his place as being the best artist. He is, of course, upset about this, and he starts to do this interpretive dance, which gets him recognized, and so now he goes on to be a professional dancer, and then you got Jeff wearing the ballerina tutu following along with him. And he's kind of mad about it. Yeah, that's Post Modern Minion. Yeah, the short that's got the song Ballroom Blitz in it. I have to say, I was a bit too harsh on this character. Claude is actually sympathetic. I actually feel bad for him. I really like the art that he dished out, even if it was a bit repetitive. I do kind of like this magazine he's on. Claude dishes up more delights. I mean, it's a banana with toothbrushes sticking out. That is just genius right there. Well, Claude, I don't hate you. It's just I feel sorry for you. So Claude isn't an asshole minion. So Claude is basically sympathetic, and I've been looking at him the wrong way. Yeah. I owe Claude a huge apology. Claude, I don't know what to say, but sorry just isn't enough. Oh, I can't believe I said that was the worst Minion short. Is it the worst Minion short? That's not Stuart. That's Claude. Look, his name says Claude right there. I used to say that Claude was an asshole Minion along with Mel. He's not an asshole at all. He was just recognized for his art talent, but then when it was starting to get repetitive, people started to turn on him. They wanted something new, and his new idea went out with a bang. And I just feel sorry for him. I actually feel sorry. Instead of cringing at it, I feel bad for this guy. All this time I've been saying Claude is just as bad as Mel, and I gave Despicable Me 3 a rewatch. I gave Merry Christmas Mordecai a rewatch, but I never even thought about revisiting Post Modern Minion. Until today. No! Claude, I'm sorry for all those times I said that you were just as bad as Mel. You are actually a very sympathetic Minion, and I hope you go on to be a professional dancer. Interpretive dance. You see how Minions tend to have a very similar character design. It's kind of hard to tell apart which one, because you're saying that's Stuart. That's not Stuart. Even in Minion Rush, Claude's outfit is given to Stuart. Why not just give it to Claude? He's the one that doned that artist outfit. Give it to him. So, in respect, if I ever do pick the artist Minion, well, I don't know, artist Stuart, I'm going to be calling him Claude, because that's what he was. Yeah, so my opinion changed on Claude. He's not that bad, actually. Because his friend stood idly by. He was still there to watch his friend. He was a bit upset because they were having playtime and then it gets interrupted. I felt that he left him, but no, he actually stayed there the whole time. He wasn't paying attention to his friend, though. It was basically leaving him out of it, but that's only because people were crowding him, and he was absorbed in the fame and success. He wasn't doing it to be an asshole. Unlike Mel, Claude actually had a purpose. To entertain people. To inspire them. It didn't really work out, but now he's got a new crowd of people to watch him with his interpretive dance. Jeff is still following him. Pierre Coffin just provides the voice for both of those minions. So pissed off right now. Hey, Zook. What are you mad about? Had $117 in my Amazon account, only for Amazon to have stopped selling gift cards to Amazon gift card money. Ooh! Oh, that is to be pissed off about. Discontinuing something. That's gotta hurt. So, in short, can't buy gift cards with Amazon gift card money anymore. Why would they stop having that be a thing? Was it not successful for them? Need an iTunes to buy a VPN. Yeah, Sonic. Zook is a little mad. No, not mad. He's pissed. He's mad. Well, I hope you do find your iTunes, dude. You know, sometimes when you say that you hate something, you need to rewatch to see the reason why you hate it. And it was hatred that blinded me. I hated Mel so much that I just hated Claude just because of that thing he did in Post Modern Minion. And I believed that he was just as bad as Asshole Minion. But not anymore. Do I still think Post Modern Minions is still the worst Minion short? Far from it. It's probably, I don't think it's bad. I just kind of feel so bad for this particular Minion, you know? I'll have to wait till I get a visa, hopefully in January. It's kind of like when the other kids gets a hug from Santa Claus, but he didn't hug me. This was back when I was a child. Sonic, I really need to, like, rewatch things that I claim are terrible. Because before, when I said Post Modern Minions was the worst short, rewatching it, I feel sympathy for this Minion. I feel bad for Claude. I'm sad that he lost his fan base with the art and stuff. He was dishing up really awesome art. But it got so repetitive. He kept doing the same thing over and over again and never innovated. He's just basically slamming himself into a portrait with food items, and it just ended up being... It got stale. No pun intended. I don't really have a least favorite Minion. For me, that's Mel. So yeah, I feel next year I should probably revisit stuff that I claim is said to be the worst thing from the respective franchises. I'm disqualifying 2 exceptions, that being Merry Christmas Mordecai and Despicable Me 3. Even upon rewatch, it just triggers my bipolar so much that I end up getting angry and have these angry outbursts. So no to Despicable Me 3 and no to Merry Christmas Mordecai. I don't ever want to revisit those again. The only reason... Okay, well, Merry Christmas Mordecai, I have to binge watch regular shows, so I'm going to have to dread watching that. Luckily, I'll have Minions in the PlayStation 2 to watch that. I mean, Stuart was close, but I ended up liking him because he's very funny. Stuart is actually different. He started off as being this slacker who didn't want to go on the search to find a new boss. And didn't really care about Kevin and Bob. Like, you see him right there, he's kind of annoyed. But the more time he spent with his brothers, the more time he learned how to have fun and to be laid back and stuff, you know. Stuff like that makes this character very memorable. This is how you redeem somebody. He goes through development. And this is one of the one-eyed rebellious teenagers. Now compare that to friggin' asshole Minion Mel, who has so much unlikability that the only few moments don't really salvage him. That's because Mel doesn't necessarily have any good traits about him, except the few I've mentioned. This dude deserves to be in jail. He deserves to be in jail. Why is it that he has that flashback in jail, and yet, even when he sees Gru and goes back to him, he leaves Gru for Drew to continue the family tradition? Would I say Store's the best one-eyed minion ever? Actually, I think that kind of goes to Chris. I think that Chris is probably one of the best one-eyed minions, because he was likable from the beginning, and he's still likable. The fact that I should probably have like a separate gallery consisting of these minions. If you're wondering who Chris is, he's the minion that Bob said goodbye to. He's like, oh, hey Chris! Boraquito! Yeah, you see Bob actually hugging him goodbye. And I feel that Stuart reminds Bob so much of Chris because they're one-eyed minions. And you can even tell that when they're saying goodbye, he actually feels sad that he's leaving. And is rejoiced when he's reunited. Moments like this, they may be very minuscule, but you gotta look at it from another way. These minions have heartwarming moments, and this is from the first Minions movie. When you look at the first Despicable Me 2 and Minions, they have heartwarming scenes. However, when you look at Despicable Me 3, the only heartwarming scenes you got is that god-awful scene with Mel in jail and Gru and Drew. Those are the only heartwarming moments in DM3. I can't really say much about DM3. It's just a garbage pile that cannot be redeemed. Look at this gif where Stuart is actually comforting Bob. This is from the first Minions movie. No one really seems to notice this, but these guys actually display emotion for one another. When you compare what they did in Despicable Me 3, you can see that there's like a huge difference. Mel doesn't even care about his fellow minions. Not to mention the fact that he made them trespass on private property. Yes, I remember Otto got angry in the Liberty Mutual commercial. Yeah, I could tell that this guy has a lot more emotion besides just being happy and stuff. But, you do realize that flashback. I don't buy this. If he really did care about Gru, would he have second thoughts about wanting to leave him? He just flat out leaves him just because Gru decides not to be evil anymore. Don't take that kind of tone with me. We're not going back to villainy. No villainy? Look, I get Minions' purpose are to serve the most despicable master they can find, but Mel didn't have this problem in the first Despicable Me or Despicable Me 2. He had to revolt in the third movie. Where the hell is Bob? Where the hell is Kevin? Where's Stuart, Otto, La Putata, Macarena, Macumba, Macaramba? Where in the world are those minions? Ones that would actually go against Mel, who would stay behind. You don't see those characters. You only see Dave and Jerry with the family. And halfway through the movie, the last time you see them, they're messing with Drew's butler. And they're never seen again. Otto is most times a jolly chubby minion. If you say chubby again... Look, I understand they wanted to give Mel a vulnerable side. Yeah, the serious guy actually has a soft side. They really did a piss poor job of actually showing that. If he really did care, he would have actually thought about it before wanting to leave Gru. But no, he just wants his desire. You got Balthazar Brat right there. Go work for him. You want to serve despicable people? He's right there. Go to him. Help him take over Hollywood. And then have that flashback of all the times you had with Gru during the final confrontation. Did you also know that Mel is also the main villain of Despicable Forces? It's a Roblox obby game. Yeah, Mel's the bad guy in that game. If you thought he was evil in Despicable Me 3, Despicable Forces takes him to a whole new level. He wears this name tag that gives him unspeakable powers and uses that power to bring back the villains. El Macho, Vector, Brat, and even Drew. Yeah. That guy's, oh, guy is just so evil. Otto is Chubby Chubbington. Hey! Why do you always get mad when someone says Otto is a coward? He's scared, okay? It's okay to run away when people are scared. Look, just because I have a soft side now for Claude doesn't mean I'm going to see Mel in that light either. The only way he can redeem himself is in Despicable Me 4. If he can prove that he can actually be a much better character, have character growth, like the Minions in the first Minions movie, then at least we could see where he's going with, you know? But then you also gotta remember that I also have other projects I need to work on as well. Yes, I actually have the gallery of that. I remember someone called me a coward. I got mad and almost punched. Remember when Mel was actually seeing the bubbles in the city? He's like, ooh la la, they've got all these bubbles. Bubbly bubbles! Spartacus! He literally says Spartacus. What the heck? And you know that one scene that really destroys the movie. I'm trying to find that scene. Maybe I wanted to keep it buried because I don't want to be reminded of... Oh yeah, there it is right there. You tell me when he does that, huh? Girl? And goes back to him. He betrays him again and leaves Gru for Drew to continue the family tradition. Not only that, he also has the I Love Gru hat instead it says I Love Drew, thus making him his new follower. How much of a more backwards person do you have to be to leave your creator or your boss again? Just for that. I feel that either Mel was created in a laboratory or that probably debunks him selling Tupperware in the second Minions movie. I was just saying, you always get mad when someone says Otto is chubby. Well, it's true. Look, when I was young, people were calling me chubby, okay? I understand. I know I'm chubby. I'm chubby. Otto's chubby. We're both chubby. But I don't want to be reminded about it. You're just basically telling me something that basically personifies me as a person. Oh yeah, and Despicable Me 4, can we please have more bonding moments with Stuart and Bob? Kevin and Bob have more bonding moments, and the only few moments we have with Stuart and Bob are only very minuscule in the first Minions movie. And the real Cinemas actually does it much better. You know what I mean? I mean, you're not very chubby. Well, a little bit. Just know that when the new year happens, I'm going to be having more time to be working on my other projects. Like, I got these other stuff to work with. Not sure about Akari Wishmaker. We'll just try to remove that. How did the Minion say popcorn? Popcorn, I guess? I don't know, Akari Wishmaker, I just really like the cover, but it's kinda outdated. I can remove it. So we got Guardians of Goku, Clutch Redemption, Primal Rage, Conquest for Earth, Jarek and Jeremy, and Minions One and a Minion. Yeah, this was the original cover I did. And while the sneak peeks only show 3 of them, I never even gotten back to these things with the exception of Minions because it's hard to really know the Minionese language. Oh yeah, you know that one where it was basically a commercial where the Minions are watching a movie and then Otto volunteers to get popcorn, but it's just a fantasy. He's not actually wearing kung fu attire. This is why I need to focus more on practicing on trying to draw Minions. This is like back in 2022. This is how the Minions looked. And while I do kind of like how Otto turned out, they definitely need to go through so much trial and error that I do with Jeremy. and in doing so will be highly impossible to do on iPad, but makes great work for the sketchpad. So what I'm saying is, my Minion drawings on Adobe Fresco kinda suck. Compared to the regular show ones, they look superior compared to anything I did with Minions. And Claude's Redemption was on Metabang Paint Pro, so it doesn't count as a Adobe Fresco drawing. That's not to say I'm probably going to update it, but for what it is, at least I'm glad with what I've gotten so far. I tried to search up Otto and the Snow Beans. I only saw car commercials and Otto. Did you get the Deal-tastic Me commercial? A JT's Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Lexington. I'm going to give you the moon. It's Deal-tastic Me. You gotta watch that commercial. It is so cursed. Gosh. And also, you also need to know that sometimes when you're trying to draw something, you gotta have to work with something you hate in order for it to look good. Why is it that almost all the time it always shows Mel being, like, mean, cross arms, looks despicable, which he is, but can we just see, like, I want to see, like, images like that, you know, when he was all happy and stuff, because he wasn't like this originally. He was actually nice, especially in the Illumination logos for Sing and Sing 2. Keep in mind I said Sing and Sing 2, because in the Illumination logo for Despicable Me 3, Mel has a hammer and smashes Stuart's goggles. It is like saying, like, Illumination! Yeah, kind of like how the Wrath of Gru is cured. What? Dude, have you even seen the Deal-tastic Me? Okay, that's an offense right there. You see that Minion right there that has, like, a spoon. He was about to eat that. And then here comes asshole Minion that just takes it for himself. Oh, truly despicable. You steal food, too? Man, you really are despicable, Mel. Jeez, what is... Come on, dude. You know how many times that song played on repeat on the radio? I like Flo Rida songs, but that is definitely not one of my favorite songs. Not one of my personal favorites of 2012, let me tell you. Well, at least it's not Birthday Cake Remix by Rihanna and Chris Brown. Yeah, I need to update the Mel Shiny and Hundo look because it's basically been updated. That's kind of like False Swipe Gaming saying, how good was this Pokemon actually? And I'm just saying, is Claude actually a bad minion or something? Well, spoilers, he's not a bad minion. He's misunderstood. He's sympathetic. I feel bad for him. Same can't be said for Mel. It's just weird that two characters I feel that I wish I can like, but they have so much unlikability that it's highly impossible. Mel and Mordecai fall into the same category as they're characters that I wish could have gotten more development, but they were just basically shafted. Mordecai got extremely worse in the later seasons, except for season 8, and Mel is just an unlikable asshole that doesn't have any good likability traits whatsoever, with the exception of the Sing audition and helping the minions to escape jail, along with popping the bubbles in Hollywood. Yeah, that's its only good traits. That's it. Nothing else. What else can I really say about this character? Not much, alright? Dude! Come on. Oh yeah, I took a screenshot of a very cursed Mordecai. I need to show you. I gotta show you. This is when Cartoon Network was having the Christmas marathon. Yeah, they're not gonna air a regular show in January. I knew it wasn't going to last. That's what I said. don't get too comfortable with the regular show reruns. They're going to kill it off, and big surprise they did. I looked in the schedule. Regular show, they're going to stop doing reruns in early January. So regular show Death Month, you kill it off. How despicable. Oh yeah, here's the front-facing Mordecai. Who created this? Why? What am I? Oh no, my brother BG's like saying something to Mom. Who in the right mind created this cursed front-facing Mordecai? This is the stuff of nightmares. Who in the right mind came up with this? What happened? No, seriously, what happened? You know what happened to Ben Adams? He stopped being the art director for regular show after season 7. Another person took his place. Who's that? Their name is Casey Hermanson, and they basically took the role in season 8. And we could see that there's like a huge change in animation. Even with the character models, Mordecai just looks so incredibly weird. He is so weird. Why is it that... Look, I'm not saying that weird doesn't mean bad. It's very innovative. But when you look at the other seasons, I mean, you could clearly tell that there's like a huge difference. I'm shocked. Truly I am. This is my shocked face. Well, yeah. I mean, they actually were extremely expressive. Look at their eyes right there. That's kind of giving me Flapjack kind of vibes, because look at their eyes. Look at the surrealism. Just look at the effort. Look at the dedication. And look at the Cartoon Network logo that's like, has gift wrap and stuff. That's definitely something to behold, alright? It's pretty impressive, alright. It feels like less like iCarly more than its own show. Also, the Gibby pilot is edited kind of not very finished in the music. They use listened songs even. Sonic. Try not to... Oh, speaking of Flapjack. I guess that makes sense considering that JG worked on Flapjack. And you can see a little bit of that surrealism from that show implemented into regular show. Everyone, stop what you're doing. It's Mordecai with the quintal hair. I'm not doing Pokemon Go right now. I already used my daily instance. Guess what we got from that? We got a shiny. Oh, look! My favorite shiny of the live stream. First Pokestop of the day, 6-day streak! Right when I started the daily instance, this was my first spawn. Sorry, Brian, I'm not playing Pokemon Go. My bad. Flapjack animation looks similar to regular shoe. What? Mordecai looks more dorky with the hair. So what are you, Kevin from Ed, Edd n Eddy? Stop calling him a dork. Also, let's just say Mel actually helped with the shiny department, especially in Scarlet. What shinies did I get today? I got a shiny Redlord, shiny Charmander, Wurmple in Pokemon Go, and we also got a shiny Sandile. Checking out my dragon. That's the same shiny Charmander I got earlier. I just nicknamed it Toasty. I caught it in a dream ball. You're sounding like Kevin. You know that, right? My goal in Pokemon Scarlet, I'm planning to catch the shiny Pokemon in the DLC in Apricorn Balls. And since I have the item printer that helps me to get these more faster, I've got a really good knack of getting shinies that I really need. And I have a hunch that I might use these Apricorn Balls to get more Minion shinies, or basically catch the same species of the ones I already have, which are much better stats, or if they have marks. I know your favorite character is Rolf. I know that. I got somewhere to be tomorrow, so I want to get this over and done with, and I don't want to spend too much time on it. Like Benson said in Weekend at Benson's, I got a life outside of YouTube, you know. And I gotta use this time to draw my minions. We got a time up win! Namco. That's like my first time up win. Pretty impressive, alright? Isn't it impressive? Alright, so if I want to really experiment with drawing the minions, I gotta draw Mel. He's the one I really want to work with. Yeah, I gotta learn how to work with characters I don't like. Note that the images tomorrow I'm going to switch out. They're not going to be the same ones, maybe except La Putata. I might switch out Jeremy, I might switch out Mordecai. Crash Bandicoot might be the Naughty Dog era. Otto, he'll just be holding the Zodiac Stone. Do you just love that he calls it scone, but then he calls it Estona? How do you go from scone to stona? You just have a new way of saying the word or something? Scone? Ah, sì, di scone. Big storia. Big shocker, he's going to be in Minions 1 and a Minion. I have to include Mel. I have to include Otto. I have to include Bob, Kevin, Stuart, Chris. There's also Josh, who has the DJ system in Minions Rise of Gru. There's the baby chick that hatched from the egg in the climax to Rise of Gru. There's gonna be like a lot of Minion characters. How am I gonna work with them? Loosely based off of Minions Paradise, this fanfiction is going to consist of the Minions on vacation, but there's an accident that happens. Bob, Mel, Otto, and the Minion chick drift away from the island Paradise and they end up in the wilderness. And they have to find a way to get back home. But Mel doesn't want to be with the baby, the chatterbox, or the chick. So it's going to take a lot of determination, leadership skills, and a bit of heartwarming moments to get them back home. So yeah, it's basically a journey home story. The saddest part is I haven't been really motivated to really work on this fanfiction because, you know, I got regular life and the search for Galarian Articuno, but next year I'm planning to balance all of that out. I'm going to find days where I can actually work on said fanfictions and possibly get them done.